Right, Sam. Well, last time we looked at the trailer that Ubisoft released on Skull and Bones, and now we actually have some new gameplay. So this is obviously walking around the crafting bit. So one thing that we were wondering about before is, can you actually just walk around? It seems like you can.
Yeah, so you can get off your boat, at least at some point.
At some point. But I have watched this, and I've got a feeling
Captain Wibbles.
that Captain Wibbles is going to be very disappointed. Because whilst you can get off and walk around a little bit in these, like, hub areas, it kind of begins and ends there with the actual movement and the open world areas of this game.
Right.
So we're going to get back on our boat here. This little laddie.
Yeah.
He looks all right, but he's got a bit of a rubbish boat. On the right, you can see sort of the cargo and the speed and stuff that can all be upgraded. And he's, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, there's the flamethrower. That's my favourite one. Oh, the rockets.
What would you put on your boat?
Well, I'd have all of the rockets.
Would you put some armor on?
Yeah, of course.
So it looks like you can either have decent armor or decent cargo. So if you want to be a merchant ship, you can do that, but you're probably going to be pretty weak and killed by a lot of things.
There's going to be missions and things for you to do, or is it just you're getting better for the sake of upgrading your own ship?
So I think it's going to be a little bit of both. By the way, there's a fucking lemur.
There is a
I've only just noticed that.
Captain Wibbles.
There's Captain Wibble. Oh my God, he's got such a
he's gonna get
Are they going to
fucked.
attack him? No, don't kill Captain.
Kill
Oh, he's
him.
got sharks around him. Jesus Christ.
Kill him.
So it is this open world, and there will be side quests. There'll be stuff like hunting missions. There'll be treasure missions. I wonder what they're doing at the moment. Okay, so they're going to this mission. Steal jars of oil from the lumberyard. There's probably going to be a lot of just wandering around, grinding XP
I
and
guess,
upgrading.
Especially if this is multiplayer and all of these other people are actual ships, you're going to spend a lot of your time just getting fucked over.
So this is our first look at actual fighting, I guess. So they're using mortars. Oh my God, a whale. I have to say, the fighting looks a little bit weird.
It does look a bit weird, doesn't it?
And also, you can tell that this is some Ubisoft executive playing the game because they've just sailed straight past a fight rather than getting in the way and trying to kill them themselves, which is what every other person
Everyone else would do, yeah.
Okay, so we're fighting a scarred tower, and this is where it gets a bit disappointing.
Was that it?
So I think that was sort of the battle commencing, and now you have certain, as you can see on the top, you have like certain parts that you have to destroy and bits of loot you have to get, so you have to knock down certain towers. But that's the kind of thing that I wasn't that keen on, because I like the fact that they're going with an open world, but then they take away all the open world bits when you do any actions.
Yeah.
So now we're in like a mini game.
Yeah.
Which I guess is just so other players don't interact and annoy you while you're trying to do it. But isn't that kind of the whole point and the fun part of it?
And so I guess you can't like co-op things like this then.
I'd assume maybe there's a party system where you can, but yeah, it doesn't look like you can just like seamlessly go into a battle and join someone else. Look, the AI, they're all
these
AI
are all
merchant.
AI, yeah.
Yeah, unless there's a lot of people called merchant. Maybe Steven has joined.
It looks better than it did in the trailer that they released, to be fair.
I was about to say it looks incredibly intense, but I actually think that was just the game having a stroke.
Yeah. So these are all AI, but that's someone, isn't it?
Oh my God, he's using his flamethrower.
Wow.
I love the historical accuracy that they're going for here, and that's the end of it.
Oh.
Is it? Is that it done?
Yeah.
What happened? We saw this when they were gathering resources in the last bit of gameplay, that it is just from the back of your ship. And yeah, the beginning was walking around, but I think that's where the walking around like starts and ends. I don't think you can actually do any of that here. Well, we're back in a ship battle, it seems, and now we're about to see the boarding. Are you ready for this?
Oh.
Are you ready? We're going to board onto the other ship. That's it.
What?
There's the boarding.
No.
And now you get all the loot.
Oh, come on.
That's everything.
That's awful. Oh, that's the worst bit. That's so disappointing.
Do you remember in Assassin's Creed Black Flag when you're bored and then you guys hook them over and you slowly draw them in? You can like shoot them and stuff and then climb up the rigging and like hop onto the rigging and jump down. Or you can even like swing across. Imagine if it was just a cutscene.
How does it know who's going to win?
I guess it only really does it against AI, and I think what happened...
So can you board other people?
Well, that's the thing. With the way the cutscene boarding works, I guess not, because there's no way to do it, right?
Yeah.
But with the AI, they got the ship down to a certain amount of health, and then they did it. But you can't board another player with that. I love those homing voices.
Oh, no, that's not... Whoa.
Oh dear, they've been hit. Oh my, he's punched the floor. He was so sad, he punched the floor. There is ship-to-ship combat with other players then, it seems, and apparently mortars that are incredibly powerful. Jesus Christ, what do they have in that? And leaky boats, apparently.
Leaky boats.
So yeah, you can disembark and disengage from combat.
Oh, so you just get off.
I guess you could just run away from people. And then you back into the hub areas.
Right.
And that's the gameplay. I think that's the reaction of everybody.
Yeah, it just feels like they've cut a lot of corners that would have made it a lot better. Right.
So this was gameplay back from 2018. The UI looks completely different,
Yeah,
and the game actually looks better. I don't know how they've made the game look worse in the last 4 years of development. There's no lemur there, just chilling. The graphics somehow look better than, I mean, there's a very laggy flag at the top, but we'll ignore that. Why are the flags in like 2 FPS and the rest of the ship is in 30?
They're in slow-mo.
Actually, I take it back. That looks awful.
Dramatic flags.
But even back in 2018, the boarding was like this. So you get the ship down to a certain amount, and then you just go in and you just click board, which is sad. Because I thought that was the best part of Black Flag.
That is the best bit of Black Flag. And like, if it was multiplayer, boarding could be really fun.
Yes. Especially like stealing loot off other people's ships and things like that. But now you
that could be really
you can't
good.
do that.
I guess the multiplayer boarding does work in the same way, in that you just have to be the first one to reduce their ship to a certain amount of health.
Maybe actually it could
all
work
of
like
the
that.
combat is just ship to ship rather than being able to board.
So what we're about to see is an attack on a fort. Now, we've seen an attack on a fort in the most recent bit of gameplay.
Yeah.
And I think in this bit of game, God, the water looks so cool. I think in this bit of gameplay, it's actually kind of different. And I think it looks way better here than what it does now. You can also see in the bottom right, you can see like the wind direction and things like that. You can see your ship HP.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like it just looked way cleaner. But somehow they've managed to mess it up and make it worse. And this game has been in development for probably almost 10 years now.
What have they been doing?
I don't know. But did you notice that there wasn't like a cutscene or a cut into the mission?
It seamlessly happens.
So what happened to that?
Yeah. Because that was a Black Flag thing again. Like, that's how it did work before. That does look a bit shit, that.
Yeah, I mean, the whole actually attacking looks very, very arcadey. Like, the UI just looks rubbish, and the sound design is pretty terrible of the cannons and things like that.
But the actual gameplay is definitely better here than it was in
That's the same bracing mechanic as Black Flag, that. I think that's almost identical. I don't know, I kind of think this just looks way better than what we've got now.
Oh, it definitely looks better.
So it makes you wonder. The last 4 years...
What have they been doing?
If we go back to this gameplay...
Oh, it definitely looks worse, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, it
definitely
the
looks
graphics
worse.
are so much
Look
worse.
so much worse.
So has this new bit of information, this new bit of gameplay changed your mind on Skull and Bones? Because I remember in the last video you said you gave it a 2 out of 10.
I did give it a 2 out of 10.
Has it gone up at all?
Maybe a 3. Maybe it's gone up a point.
I can't lie, for me it's probably gone down a point, seeing actual gameplay of it.
Yeah. I mean, the graphics definitely have got worse since the 2018 run.
Yes.
It doesn't look nearly as good as it did.
But hey, I guess that's Ubisoft for you.